a desktop scanner. How are you doing?
Just steady here. Good to hear you, of course. I'll be interested to know what difference, if any, there'll be, because your setup's been pretty good up until now. Bit of an attempt at radio this afternoon, but nothing much happened. I just chased parks because there wasn't much happening on 20 metres. Most unusual. I would have made just one or two contacts maybe if there'd been anything really happening, but yeah, very, very quiet. I did hear, what part of Europe was it? Oh, that's right, Belgium was coming through on 7.1 something or other. Already forgotten. And Chucky, K9RM over there in Indiana was booming in on 7190. Otherwise, not much to report. Back over to you, VK3AML Crossband, VK3ACZ.
You can probably hear yourself. I'm using instead of the Baofeng, I'm using a Pro 2023. Hang on, what's the number? Pro 2022 off-air monitor, but I'm not convinced that it's as sensitive as the Baofeng, so I'll be very interested to hear what happens if and when VK3ARD turns up. If I can't hear him, I will immediately switch back to the Baofeng. VK3ARD, VK3AML. Sorry, VK3ACZ, VK3AML.
Oh, yeah, I was listening for Maddie too. I sent Maddie, well, I got a email today from ARV offering online courses with Mr. Cousins for advanced and standard upgrade. So I don't know how Maddie would have what he would have thought of that, or whether he'd appreciated my concern. But anyway, we'll find out soon enough. Another considering I thought my ability to do HF on Tuesday night with the wind badly affecting my antenna mast, absolutely amazing that there's not a breath of wind again tonight. Monday and tonight, and to I guess a slightly lesser extent last night, no wind at all, but we had gale force winds on Tuesday. A little bit like the fact that conditions are always good when you crossband for Maddie and I. Come the time when you don't crossband, the conditions will probably be crap between he and I, but anyhow.
Yeah.
Murphy was an optimist. It's funny how it goes that way. Any HF from you today? Back to you, Chris.
No, but there's some noise behind you, and I think it's because the desktop scanner's not as sensitive as the Baofeng. It's a 40-year-old desktop scanner, and I should imagine its front-end noise would be a little bit worse than the Baofeng, but I wasn't expecting to hear quite so much hiss on you. It does have better audio, but unfortunately less sensitivity, and if Matty comes up later and I can't hear him, or he's impossibly noisy, I'll certainly switch back to the original arrangement. No, I didn't do any radio today. Been a bit busy organising talks, with either the home movie compilation I did last year or the Kingsford Smith reconstruction I did this year. So that's been taking up most of the day, and whatever part of the day we didn't take up that way, Prue and I spent shopping at Forest Hill Chase, where there was recently some violence. Apparently some bloke ran amok about 4 days ago. It was reported on the news What is it with young people these days? They feel they have to go running amok, ruining not only other people's lives but their own, probably in perpetuity, with machetes or something equally ridiculous.
Oh, it can't be, Chris, because the government banned them, so therefore problem solved. I mean, that sort of logic has taken over the whole firearms side of things, so why wouldn't it be the same with machetes, oh dear. I've turned the volume up on my 70cm side, so if Maddie calls in and you can't hear him, I still will. But I'm just leaving a bit of silent carrier for a moment. Oh yes, there is a little bit of path noise from me by the sounds of it.
It's not path noise. I think it's front end noise from the old desktop scanner. I don't think they're as sensitive as the Baofeng.
Okay, yep. And oh well, yeah, the equivalent of path noise. Yeah, never mind. Where did you say the kerfuffle was recently?
At Forest Hill Chase, not too far from here.
Oh, okay. The sort of thing you'd expect. Isn't it Northland has all the trouble? I didn't hear about it because I try and avoid news.
Television news. I don't blame you.
The thing that struck me a little bit today is about to happen when you visit nursing homes. But one of the ladies there, I don't know how old she was, her name was Sigrid, an easy name to remember because I just think of Sigrid Thornton. But she was a German lass, and I don't think she ever spoke more than one or two words.
Oh, Ziggy.
To me, but she would always...
I know her sister. Her sister is 30 years younger than she is.
Oh, gee, that's a big...
Well, her father was born in 1891. And my friend Helene was born the year I was, 1954. So I think Siggy was born 1930, something like that. The situation was that Helene's German father had one set of kids prior to the Second World War. Then his wife and he were separated by the force of war. He was in Haifa in Israel in a German colony there called the Templars. They later formed a sort of a colony in Australia at Bayswater. But as soon as the war was declared, Helene's father was living at Haifa in Israel among the other German Templar colony, and her mother had gone for a holiday in Germany in the end of 1939, and as a result of that, by force of war, her parents were separated until 1948, from 1939. Her father, as soon as the war was declared, the British Protectorate of Israel, as it was then, the policeman knocked on the door, said, "Get your things together, you're going to a warmer climate." And with all of the other German settlers in Haifa, they were sent to Australia to a prisoner of war camp, very low-key prisoner of war camp, more or less a farm, really, at a place called Loveday near Renmark in South Australia, up in Riverland country. So, Ziggy. So, Ziggy passed away?
Don't know if we're... No, this is another Sigrid I know who was in the nursing home that I pick up and drop off Lorna to. Anyway,
okay.
She was... again, I don't know how old she was. She'd had a chest infection for a while, but she'd just come good with that.
Oh, you've just dropped down. Are you there? Hello? I think we've got a blocking carrier or something. Okay, just stand by. I'm going to change my receiving setup. Try again, Peter. Harlow, you got us there, Pete?
I've got you.
Ah, well, that's strange. Try again.
VK3ACZ testing.
Yeah, it's... Maddie, are you about VK3ARD? This will be the determining factor as to whether we persist with that receiving arrangement or not. Maddie, are you there? Try it?
Yes, I'm about, but I'm not really about.
Oh, okay. Are you at home?
Yes, I'm at home.
Okay, well that's an indicator that I can receive you quite well on that setup, so I'll leave it there. I don't know why it suddenly went to a lot of distortion. It could be a connector problem. Anyway, Peter, sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, anyway, so I turned up there today. She wasn't in attendance, so I asked where she was and got this funny look from as if to say, didn't you know she parked it last Friday? So I'm going to miss poor old Sigrid. She was a lovely dear. But yes, so long as my Lorna, she's got 32 days to go now to the century. So with any luck she'll get there. She was actually quite sharp today, Lorna. I know because she has her favourite CD with her, with Daniel O'Donnell, the Irish folk singer. And if she's spot on with the lyrics, singing along, I know, it's going to be a good day.
Okay.
If she goes la 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 or is about 3 seconds behind with the words, I know that she won't be completely sure where she is. Anyway, so that's pretty much my day. Love the WX today. Oh, I did something shameful tonight, Chris. I joined the Dumbstar net again tonight at 2000 hours.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the audio...
we'll have to disinfect you.
The audio wasn't too good with a couple of them. But Greg QSL was there. His usual jovial self.
Right.
And Maddie came through my speakers. Oh, no, that's right. Sorry, I had my volume turned up on the 70 centimetre side. I was about to say he was louder than he normally was, but no, that's my volume turned up. Okay.
Well, I'm a little... Now that I've heard Maddie on this, I know that the sensitivity's okay. It's just that I see if I can explain this correctly. The desktop scanner has treble de-emphasis on receive the way it should. The little Baofeng, they don't bother with that. I think they just rely on the speaker having a little bit more treble. So consequently I don't hear low frequency noise if it's in the transmission or in the path with the Baofeng, but I do with the broader range frequency response of the desktop scanner, which is open down to about 100 hertz and can actually receive so-called subaudible tones being transmitted on that. Just hang on a sec. You can imagine that with all these new receiving arrangements, I've got wires running all over the shack like a mad woman's diarrhea. It's really going to take a reconstruction of the shack to get the mess out after this is all done.
I'm envious of you that you have a shack.
Well, for many years my shack was a linen closet at a former linen closet in Surrey Hills, and I had to put the equipment rack outside the shack in the hall, and that involved running back and forth, and the computer was in another room again, and I started to realise when web SDRs became available that having the computer in a different room to the radio was hugely disadvantageous when I was trying to receive on WebSDR, running back and forth from one room to another. So now it's right in front of me, behind the microphone I'm speaking to you on, which is a desk mic. Thought occurs to me to tune up a WebSDR. I don't know whether I have the... There we go. I'll bring up 40 metres just on the off chance somebody's listening that can come in on 40. Strathbogie number 1 should do.
Chris, give me a couple of minutes. I'll be listening, but I want to race off and put a cup underneath the boiling water jug.
Oh, very good. Okay, no worries. Now, that's the Bulls practice on 3700. Now, where can we come up? I'll try 3600. I wonder if anybody... Right. I'm on a free frequency 3600 kilohertz, and if while Peter is away making coffee, anybody would like to come up and speak to us, we are listening and relaying 3600 kilohertz, and I saw a burst of carrier just then, so we might have something. 3600 kilohertz, listening via the Strathbogie SDR, so we should hear you if you're transmitting from Melbourne. No takers? No takers. Okay, we are continuously listening also on 439225 on 70 centimetres. So you can choose whatever frequency you like to come up. I note VK3ARD is there, but he's probably otherwise occupied, so I'm just sort of hovering on the frequency.
VK3AML VK3ARD.
Ah, hang on, I'll just get rid of 80. There we go. Yeah, g'day, Matt, how are you?
I am well. Actually, I can't hear myself tonight. It must be a volume thing. Although all my noise is still there.
Yeah, I don't think that these desktop scanners are as sensitive as the Baofeng.
Yeah. So you're... it's interesting. I had the radio on when you started, and you didn't start at full power. It took a little while before your signal became stronger.
Yeah. Look, Matty, I'll switch over to the Baofeng and I'll see if that makes any difference. Could you just hang on a moment?
Yep, no worries.
Okay, it's not simple to switch, and I have to put things out of the way. Hopefully not electrocuting myself in the process. Desktop scanner on the floor. And change the antenna connection. Hopefully not dropping connectors on the floor.
Channel mode.
Okay, try that, Matty.
VK3AML VK3ARD. How do you copy?
Well, how about that? A $20 Baofeng is better than the what cost about $400 in the 1980s, a desktop scanner. How about that?
Well, I was looking at, I think I'm only here for a little bit, but I was going to say I was looking at some RF stuff on AliExpress, and I came across someone selling the, I think it's called the 818 module, and it is literally a handheld radio module.
Yeah.
It does everything for you. You you just give it commands, and it's a $20 1-watt module that you can build your own handheld around.
Oh.
And that's what a lot of the handhelds, not a lot, but that's what some of them are using. They're just it's an off-the-shelf. Someone probably put in tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars into development.
Yeah.
And it's gone on for so long that now you can just buy this little module that does. It takes audio in, audio out. Has a little little audio amplifier on it. It has a matching network for the antenna. It has does all the CTSS. Everything, handles everything for you.
Right.
And it's all done just for anyone who wants to build a handheld. It's not aimed at hobbyists. It's just aimed at a company who wants to build a product. So I'm not. It is amazing that the Baofeng is so good.
Yes.
But it's also just that it's.
Well, it's 40 years newer technology.
Yeah, and there's been 40 years of coming up with cleverer and cheaper ways. And we're at a point where that's completely commodity now, nothing special at all.
Yeah, I use the desktop scanners now purely as off-air monitors, nothing very critical. I mean, there's piles of signal, obviously, floating around to intercept for an off-air monitor. But as for using them for receiving off the antenna, they're fairly deaf by modern standards.
I know what we could do. So you haven't done anything with SDRs, have you? Local SDRs, like
no,
your computer?
Not for HF, no.
Oh no, I was thinking VHF.
Oh,
you could.
The only thing I've done, Matty, years ago through Aldi, the supermarket, I bought a television receiver thumb drive.
Yep.
Called a Median thumb drive. It cost about $20, and for the odd occasions when our television broke down, we could use our laptops as a TV receiver with that thumb drive. Anyway, Andrew VK3BK came around. Well, this was about 4 years ago, and he put some software on it. I forget what it was, on the computer I mean, to drive that thumb drive, and we were able to see everything from 140 to 149 megahertz, I think it was, on the screen as a waterfall display, and listen to stuff. It wasn't particularly sensitive. I mean, what do you expect? And I suspect that it would have a bit of crosstalk from strong signals adjacent. But why?
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
Oh no,
I mean, the trouble with most of those thumb drives is they do require a computer.
Yes. No, they all require a computer. Yeah. Sorry, the pager just knocked you completely out. They must have put they've probably done something.
It's a pity that there's that big lump of hill between you and I. It would make it a lot easier if it wasn't there.
Yeah. Oh, you coming? I mean, I think if I probably put a great big attenuator in between the antenna and the radio, that would probably do it. Just because you're coming in so well, it wouldn't hurt to knock your signal down 20 dB, and it probably wouldn't hurt to knock down the 3 pages when they go off at the same time by 20 dB each.
Right.
So,
from what I know of them, they're up around 148 megs, just out of band.
Yep. There's one like at 148 point. I think there's a small one at 3 and 5, and a big one at 7 or 6 or 7 or something. Yeah. Oh no, I don't know if it will work, but I know some SDRs allow you to have multiple slices at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can receive 500 kilohertz of the 2 meter band, you can receive from all of them, from an FM signal, multiple times on that bandwidth. So you could listen to multiple people at the same time, and demodulate it via FM, and then output them all at the same time.
Yes, yes. Isn't it extraordinary though? The UV5R-mini, which is worth about $25 or $30 or something, beats all of my desktop scanners hands down. It's incredible.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the UV5R is SDR. I'm not sure if it's got an IS in it or if it's direct sampling or what it's doing. But they did a very good job with it. Sorry, like I said, I'm only here for a little bit, I'll pass it on to Peter if he's back. VK3ACZ VK3ARD.
Thank you, Matty. And a quick question for you, off topic, of course. I sent you an email tonight, via your QRZ page email, and it bounced. I wonder if that's still current, or was the fault on my end?
I may have put it on wrong. On the QRZ page, I don't think. What does it say? VK3A? No, I think that's right. I'll go and test it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, I sent it by text message to get around that anyway. That was the ARV thing from Peter Cousins about online courses. I did his course. I decided that I still needed more tuition and availed Greg 3KWX of his services for a while before I set the exam. And of course, Greg KWX put me through the exam as well. But anyway, I was just giving that to you in case I could pique your interest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I saw that, and I'll have to think about it. But I do appreciate you forwarding that on to me, Peter.
Well, completely selfish interest, Matty, because I'm thinking of all the extra bands I can work you on when you go portable. Anyway, hope all's good, Matty. And for what it's worth, you're actually a little bit stronger tonight into Chris's than you are Simplex to me. As you'll recall, last night it was the opposite, but conditions always change to keep us on our toes.
Yes, no, you're only 2 to 3 bars tonight, but I also mentioned that while you're away that Chris's signal was down a little bit as well at the start, and I had that interference off it sounded like it was off a helicopter again. So maybe it's something else, but now it's all good.
Very likely reflections off an aeroplane, Matt. And as the aeroplane moves, you get the shush, 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 shush as it goes through wavelengths. As we're not line of sight, definitely the Police Academy Hill is between you and me. I think you'd be getting a fair bit by reflection from aeroplanes if they were in that general area, somewhere above the Police Academy Hill or somewhere within sight of both of us. Whereas Peter, I think if I got up to the level of the top of my X520 diamond antenna, I would probably be able to see Peter's place with a pair of binoculars. I don't think there's any obstruction between me and him. The only thing is the distance, which is about, what would you say, Pete, 10 kilometres? 12?
11 according to QRZ.
Okay.
With both our locations fairly accurately pinpointed. But I think you're quite right. We would be in a visible line as Bosnia, where I am, the Paris end of Bosnia, is quite hilly, but I'm on the top of a hill at least in your direction to the west.
Yeah. The other thing I'm noticing is I don't think the difference in signal to noise between the old desktop scanner and this Baofeng is solely explained by the sensitivity of the front end. It may be something to do with the discriminator, which used to be LC based back in the early 80s. The discriminator, I think, in the Baofeng would be something, if not software defined, at least perhaps a crystal filter of some kind. I don't know. I'd have to look up what the current architecture is for FM discriminators, but I suspect that they've changed that too. I do note that
the Bootangs do very poorly. You've pretty much confirmed that they're quite sensitive, but they do very poorly for intermod filtering.
Yeah, well, I seem to have knocked out the intermod, or at least the pager interference, because I'm using the diplexer, which doesn't allow anything below 200 megs into the antenna circuit of the Baofeng, including my own 2-meter signal. There's a good 60 dB plus of isolation between the two as a result of that diplexer. It's really rather good, and particularly as Scotty VK3ACZ sent it to me gratis, I'm very appreciative of getting the thing. I do have another diplexer, but it's only got about 40 dB of separation, and that would mean that anybody I receive on 70 SEMS would have to be strength 7 or better for me to receive them above my own crud. So, yeah, modern technology, amazing. The diplexer is about the same size as a common or garden matchbox. It really is tiny. Whereas I was thinking that I would have to use the cavity resonator I've got here, and you know how big 2-meter cavity resonators are. It would dwarf the whole of the rest of the power supply, the rig, and everything else. But if I go to the full legal limit, say 100 watts, maybe 120 watts, I may have to use the cavity resonator to clean up stuff off the side of my 2-meter transmission, as Dave found that he had to when he was running it from Ormond. I don't think Dave was actually running a diplexer. I don't think he actually had one. I'll have to find out from him. Anyway, it's interesting to see how this thing can be set up and the cheap ways of getting around the problems of duplex operation, crossband duplex operation now, compared to what there was a few years ago, which would have cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Now you go out and buy a cheap UV5R-mini and you're off and away. Sorry, Peter.
You're sort of away, although come to think of it, my Yaesu radios, except for the FT60, which first came into production in 2004, if I recall, and still is in production, if I understand it correctly as well. It's impervious to city-based hash and garble and dirt and all that, but none of the other Yaesus or Baofengs make the grade. Of course, Mount Dandenong is the other place to test them. The only other radios I've got other than the FT60 that are really good for either of those locations are the ID50 and 52 that I possess. And I hate giving praise to ICOM, but they definitely make the very best handheld at the moment. I'm sure a quiet achiever would accue a sell on that too, would you not, Matty?
Well, naturally, I don't even have to test it. I just know because it says ICOM on the case.
Oh no, that'll learn me.
I just opened up a picture of the PCB of the Baofeng, and about a third of it is front-end filtering. There are 15, 16 tiny little inductors,
What in the this is in the UV5R-mini?
Yep.
Holy moly!
Tiny little coils.
They must be microscopic.
Yeah, they are. And the brains that runs it all is one chip, and they've lasered off all the text off it. So it's not theirs, but they don't want anyone to know who makes it for them.
Yes. Pieces of equipment like that are a pain in the neck. I remember at the National Library sound recording section 45 years ago when I worked there was an analog noise suppressor, audio noise suppressor, specifically designed around LPs and 78s to get rid of clicks, things with a fast rise time, and you could vary the rise time to suit. Was miraculous in getting rid of surface noise on old recordings, but it was incredibly complex inside. There were about 20 ICs, and with another guy I decided to pop the top off the thing. It's called a Packburn noise suppression unit, and we looked in, and sure enough, all of the ICs had their type numbers sanded off. They were all 14-pin dual-in line. We were a little bit cheesed off because that meant if anything went wrong, the thing had to be sent holus bolus to Japan and come back again.
Yeah.
So that really, in a professional sense, that becomes a big pain in the neck.
Yes. No. I mean, it's just there to give them, an extra few months before someone can work it out and copy them.
Well, in 1981, I think it was an extra few years, but
yes.
Things have changed a little since then. Now, what was that module you were talking about that could be used as a receiver?
No, I was just talking about the SDR?
Yes.
No, I was talking. It's probably the same thing. It's
okay.
They call it the RTL SDR.
Oh yes, I think TT told me a little about that.
Yeah, and it's what it was built and designed for doing digital TV. So they left some test modes on it, and if you switch the drivers over, you can use it as an SDR instead of a TV receiver. The difference, I suppose, would be that the SDRs, I don't think, have any front-end filtering, whereas this Baofeng does, obviously. Yes, well, that's essential. So there are a couple of companies who make SDRs, more expensive ones, and that's pretty much where everything comes from.
Yep.
The chips like the RTL SDR are good enough that the only way to get better is to go back into the analog side and clean up the signal as much as you can, because you just can't throw more bits at it or more processing.
Yeah.
You can. So there was a company called RTL SDR Blog that found a old stock of the chip.
Yep.
And built a whole ton of boards, and I think they've just run out. I think they ran out of them. They only thought there'd be enough for a few months, but they've been making them for years and years as they keep finding old stock of them. But now they've actually run out.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's used them for an actual TV tuner for 10 years or so.
It sounds like just more by accident than by design I've chanced on probably the best answer to the receiver for a Crossband duplex system in the cheapest available receiver.
Well, question for you, Matty. It sounds like the circuitry of the new VK3AML TX is different to the oldie UV5. Sounds like I need to do some testing in RF strong environments like the CBD or up at Mount Dandenong.
It's with the Mini.
Looks quite... Actually, in some ways it looks very similar, and in other ways it's quite different. The layout almost hasn't changed, but but probably every single chip on the board has.
I shall do some more testing. Thank you for that.
Sounds like the Mini might work better than the normal one if you go up Mount Dandenong, Pete.
Well, the normal one, I can assure you, is 3 parts useless, totally useless. But yeah, even the Yaesu handhelds are better than that. Yeah, the FT5, the Yaesu's current flagship, is even in the CBD is next to useless. You'll be listening to taxi trucks and people on bikes couriering and parcels and that sort of stuff. Very disconcerting. But as I said, FT60, super old radio, no problem at all. ID 50 and 52, no problem. Oh, wait a minute. No, Maddie's listening. I mustn't give ICOM any praise at all. It's a very poor form of Maddie to be just as biased in the opposite direction as I'm biased. Ha ha.
Well, sorry, I need to put the radio down. But
no worries, Maddie. Nice to have you anyway.
Come up and have a quick chat and I'm glad the receiver works, even if it's not quite as good as a $20 Chinese radio. Amazingly. So, Peter and Chris, have a great evening, and I'll catch up with you sometime in the future. This has been VK3ARD.
Thanks very much, Maddie.
Cheers, Maddie.
Yeah, it looks like you will have to do some testing. And as I found out tonight, the sensitivity of the Baofeng Mini is really respectable.
I've tested the Baofeng Mini for shockproofing, different thing, and it was certainly a very unintentional test. Funny feeling when you're actually watching it fall to the ground onto a hard surface, in slow motion, mind you, but slow enough that it's still, you can't reach down and catch it before it hits the ground. For a moment there, it feels like it's a very expensive radio because there's this instantaneous feeling of dread. But as I said, it kind of happens in slow motion, with the reaction time being even longer. And of course, it makes a horrible sickening thud when it hits the ground. But 3 times now I've dropped one of my minis, and you can't even see any dent or welt.
It's probably overall so light that it doesn't make much of an impact with the ground.
Oh, it might be that too, but it's certainly made of, I don't know if it's polymer or what sort of plastic it is, but it's certainly, it's built to take it, and the internals obviously don't fall apart. I can imagine without pulling one apart that it's those scary-looking printed circuit boards now that you can't believe it's possible to manufacture things so such in minute, tiny. I can't think of the right words, but you know what I mean. Yeah,
I'll have to tell.
Looking at modern electronics, anyway.
I'll have to tell Steve ZH the results of tonight's test. I mean, it really is surprising. The Baofeng has front end selectivity as well as much higher sensitivity than something that was really expensive in the 1980s. Well, I suppose I should expect that, but I just wonder how an expensive handheld would compare with the Baofeng Mini in terms of both characteristics, the sensitivity and the front-end selectivity, the front-end...
I've done the sensitivity. As I say, I hate saying this, it's all right, Maddie, you can unblock your ears. The 52's just about the royal standard, it really is.
Yep.
And it's sensitivity-wise, it's better than the Baofeng Mini.
Okay, and how much does it cost?
That's the embarrassing bit. Look, in terms of improvement, it's not as much as the price may say, but then again, I suppose the argument for the exorbitant price of the 52 is that you've got Dumbstar as well.
Okay.
Which, I don't know, ICOM should be giving people money to use Dumbstar.
So it's the ICOM 52, is it? Or?
Yeah, about $850, I think.
Oh! I think I just had a bit of diarrhea there. Oh dear. Yeah, 850. Oh Christ. Yes.
But really, you want it for nothing. I don't regret a cent I spent for mine. And I hope nobody is recording this to play back to me later to blackmail me or anything like that. But it's, yeah, it's pretty cool. I even like the display on it. I guess the Yaesu, the FT5's got a better display with different colours and the like, although the screen's a bit smaller on the Yaesu. But yeah, in terms of all-round or overall performance, I suppose the ID52, but with system confusion instead of D-Star, would be absolutely the ants pants.
Okay. Oh, I just wonder if there's any way of getting a receiver that's as sensitive as the ICOM 52, but doesn't cost $850. I mean, you know, for $850, what's that? I could buy 35 UV5R-minis.
Well, they're, I can't speak for most of the ICOM range. As my satellite, my bird shooting down piece of equipment, I've got a 2730 ICOM, and it's absolutely ghastly in terms of its fan noise. I wouldn't have it in a shack for all the money in the world, but for being out in the open, pointing the beam at the sky, at an imaginary place in the sky, you don't hear the fan running inside a shack. It would be terrible. I believe there are modifications, and ICOM let themselves down a bit, or cop a bit of criticism from a lot of people because they don't supply the mounting brackets. They're all extra. In fact, I had to buy an extra piece just to connect the front of the radio to the body of the radio. So, yeah, that they kind of missed something. Now, they've just announced at the Hamvention a new 5200, which is a colour screen version of a thing they've already got out, the 5100. Again, it's a car mobile radio, basically, but I imagine receiver sensitivity and all that, they would be the ants pants.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, if anybody's on HF, currently listening on 7090, you can hear the noise in the background there. If anybody would like to come up, we will hear you, possibly with a little bit of latency, because I'm listening on the Strathbogie Web SDR, and you can hear the crackles coming through behind me at the moment.
Strathbogie's a funny one, Chris, because I've had it where I've listened to myself and it's almost instantaneous. You know, it's been less than half a second delay. And I've also had times where it's up to 5 seconds delay. Okay.
Well, we'll see. 7090, we're listening. I think that's a clear frequency at the moment. There's somebody on 7105 and further up as well. So 7090, if anybody would like to call in. Yeah, the one trouble with, well, there was a couple of troubles with using the Baofeng UV5R-mini for the receive side of this crossbanding. One is that it's tailored at the bottom end to not pass anything below 300 hertz, so it's a little on the tinny side, as you will have noticed. Hello? Was that somebody coming back to me? There's some interesting stuff going on 7090. You can hear the whistle. We're listening. Oh. This is an Indonesian. He just says, okay. Okay.
He sounds a lot like Lima Zulu 7 Victor Victor, good old Danny who comes up often on 20 metres. He sounds like that. He's got some sort of a speech impediment.
Yes.
It slows his speech. It sounds just like him.
Okay. That's the only thing I ever hear this guy saying. I don't think he can hear us. Certainly VHF wouldn't be getting through to Indonesia. Anyway, I'll just bring that down. Yeah, the two things that are a slight problem with the UV5R is that I use it for these contacts that go a maximum of 90 minutes each night, and on receive only. And to recharge that 90 minutes worth that I take out of the thing, it takes an average of 30 minutes to recharge the next morning. It'd be nice to have something with external power. And the other thing is that with the low frequency filtering of the thing, I can't, through the speaker socket, which is the only audio socket on the thing, of course, I can't access the unfiltered output, which has the low frequencies in it. I probably could on the board. So I'm half tempted to buy one of these things and hack it open. You know, split the thing open, put a battery eliminator on it, and feed the audio directly from the discriminator to my mixer here. So that may be the answer. Some destructive back engineering, and getting it out of the case and wiring it into the system as a permanent item somewhere. Hang on.
Certainly won't break the bank, will it? And
no.
Now that you've sampled and know what it's capable of, I don't think it'd be too much of an imposition. It certainly won't hurt your hip pocket. And again, here was me clucking and fussing before about the UV5 hitting the ground and all the worry associated with it. It's just that instantaneous thing. If I could actually say to myself while it's falling to the ground, it's only a few dollars, it doesn't matter, I would be better off. But you think of that later.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's, you know, with a lot of rigs. That's one of the reasons that I didn't buy the Annan. Was 5K. At the time we were thinking about setting up for HF, I did have 5K available for it. Mostly because we had an unexpected bequest from a friend of the family who died. And Prue and I didn't have any immediate need to invest it in anything particular, so the Annan would have been good. But the problem was, if anything goes wrong with the bastard, you have to send it back to where it came from, which is India. There's no local service for the thing. And it costing so much, I would be paranoid about leaving antennas connected to it in case I got lightning damage, or, you know, you'd be treating it like it was a piece of glass ornament all the time, rather than something you could knock about and occasionally have fall off the desk or out of the cabinet. So I think it's better that I stick with equipment like Yaesu gear that I know I can get serviced by Guy across the other side of town.
As you no doubt know, the 891s of such solid construction, you'd have to get it run over by a Mack truck to really to damage it all that badly.
Yeah.
Look at it, probably even survive some of the falls I've been famous for. But having said that, my FTM 300 did fall off the chair onto the ground, and it required repair. But then again, when Mr. Guy fixes it under warranty, how cool was that?
Yes.
I didn't either expect it or even wish for it, but he did so all the same. I was very appreciative. So in terms of his reliability and appreciation and all that, he's first class. Yes,
yes. I'm sort of glad that he's taken up some of the dealerships that Slim is letting slip as he retires.
He does.
Any more news on Slim's retirement, by the way?
No, I've not been anywhere near the toy shop, and I should go and see him because I believe his YSF node is playing up at the moment. I've got queries about it anyway. It seems to have a timeout feature, but doesn't make sense. I've been listening for an hour and it's left me on, and I've been listening for 10 minutes and it's booted me off, so I'm not sure what's going.
Okay.
But in terms of asking him when he's going to retire, goodness me, I've had every different answer possible, and I must have been given 4 or 5 different dates of closure. I think the most recent one I heard was from Mr. Monk, and that was supposed to be end of August. But again, I wouldn't hold to anything.
Yeah, and for the benefit of people that may have transmitted... Hello? What was that?
It's me, Chris.
Is that Steve, ZH?
Oh, no, Nigel, XKU.
Oh, g'day, Nige. Yeah, I didn't know how to send the frequency onto you. At the time that we changed frequency, we were enthusiastic to keep it quiet in case Mr. Buggerlugs came back. But now, no problem at all. It seems that whoever it was got bored with making a nuisance of himself and buggered off somewhere. Back to you, Nige. Are you hearing us, Nige?
Yeah, good day to Peter.
Okay. You got 2 receivers there or something?
Yeah, I've got the FM 300 on split. Yeah. Maybe Buggerlugs couldn't work that one out, so he Buggerlugged off.
Oh, it could be. Oh, I'm going to come round there with an aluminium baseball bat and give you 2 broken kneecaps, and I'm going to stab you and kill you and blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
The only problem with it was he wasn't serious. I truly, truly, truly wished he would try.
No. Yeah.
I've heard someone like that on CB.
So, well, I suspected it'd be one and the same, Nige, frankly. But nice to hear you there anyway.
Yeah, okay. I hope I didn't sort of barge in on your secret frequency.
No, that's absolutely fine. You probably heard the result of tonight's test, and that is that we tested with the same setup, antennas and everything, a 1980s desktop receiver scanner, a realistic receiver scanner, which in their day cost something like $350 or $400, against a Baofeng UV5R-mini, the latest Baofeng handheld, all of $30 worth, and the Baofeng beat the desktop scanner hands down for sig to noise in the front end and everything. So, you know, it just goes to show things are progressing that we don't really...
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, like I'm using the FT10 at the moment. I was talking to someone on the FM repeater.
Yeah.
On 10 metres, 10 metres FM repeater.
Yeah.
And okay, he was in Scoresby, so not very far away from me, and I could still hear him on the output. So, how's that for frequency selection?
Okay. Are you receiving me on a separate receiver to what you're...
No, the same receiver.
Okay.
The same set. It's got two VFOs, two complete different sections.
Yes.
So one for 2 meters, one for 70 or whatever, or aircraft or whatever.
So you're actually receiving me as you transmit on the one...
Yeah, that's right, that's correct. If I turn it up too much, I get feedback.
Yeah.
Like that.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're going duplex on the one radio. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What radio are you using, Nige?
I'm using an FTM 300D.
Roger.
FTM 393, was that?
Oh, FTM 300D, 300D.
Okay, I'll look that up after the QSO's done. And if anybody's listening on 40 metres, and if anyone's listening on 40 metres, we have 7110 open, 7110 kilohertz, and there's nobody there at the moment, not even the Indonesian going, okay, okay, all the time.
Well, you know how 40 years this time of night, Chris, they'd either need to be very, very close with what semblance there is of a ground wave, or along at the very edge of 270 reception range.
I should be able to hear some semblance of a signal from Melbourne on
Well, funny thing, Mr. Pickles and Rye was on 7125 this evening talking to the AM people, and I couldn't hear him at all. I had to get on an SDR, and you know he's not that far from me.
Yes.
So it worried me that he'd actually knows how to change the radio over to amplitude modulation. There you go.
I noticed that there's somebody on 7056, hang on. I think it's a chanter. 7057. And somebody was also... Oh, shut up. Somebody was testing with a carrier on 7112, so if anybody comes up, we're currently listening, hang on, 7110.
Given that it's winter time here, Chris, very close to the solstice. Oh, by the way, Jupiter and Venus close together look very nice tonight, just after sunset to the northwest. But given the time of year it is, this time of night would be just about too late to hear the United States of America, because I'm pretty sure the West Coast is in daylight now.
Yeah, although some American operators operate to all hours of the wee hours of the morning for some strange reason, I find.
They do, but more to our summertime when it's still dark over there. You hear them till about 1 a.m. our time. But at the moment, I think 40 metres is pretty well lost to us.
Yeah, 7110 if anybody's listening. No, it doesn't look like anybody's going to fire up on 40 metres. 7110. No, there is a signal on 7 megs. Oh God, listen to them all. That's on 7 megs.
Biggest chanter wins, isn't it?
Yeah. Somebody going, whoo!
I brought up the grey line map, and it's well and truly Hawaii would be just on the edge of the grey line now.
I'll just see if I can. I'll find a web SDR in WA. Usually they're pretty good on 7 megs, and they get Indonesia even better than I do. Let's just see. This one's near Port Augusta, not Port Augusta.
Actually want to get Indonesia?
I'm just curious. 7,000. Now listen to them all.
It's different. That's a bit melodic.
What do they get out of it? Sounds like somebody going, you are, you are, you are. I better be careful of that, because you never know whether I'm broadcasting Indonesian 4-letter words or something. But yeah, they're all going for it on 7.0 megs lower side, just outside our band. Thank goodness it's leaving our CW boys alone.
I can get us noise.
What's that, Nige?
I can get us noise. Actually, I tried to transmit on 7110 and you didn't hear me.
Hang on, I'll go up to 71. Oh, wait a minute, that's WA. I'll go back to... what would be the best one this time of night? Probably Hunter Valley, if the truth be known. So I'll bring up Hunter Valley, click 7110, and lower side, and zoom in, and Let's see if we can hear you, Nige. Nothing there at the moment. There may be some latency. No, I can't hear anything on 7110 at the moment. That's from Hunter Valley. I'll switch.
Not so bad.
I'll switch to Strathbogie RX1 and see if I can listen there. That's about the closest I would go at this time of night with... Oh, listen to this. 7 megs.
I think it's the new hit parade in Indonesia. I don't think it'll catch on here.
Enough of that. Hang on. 7110. Okay. Oh, blessed silence. 7110. So, Nige, if you want to give it a try on 7110, we're listening on Strathbogie. There's just the suggestion of a voice there. Listening 7110. One of these days I'll be doing this and the person at the other end will say 2 words, the first of which is get, and I hope I can reach the kill button before the second word comes up. No, I don't hear anything there, so bit of a washout. Well, it's 8 minutes.
I'd be very surprised if you did.
Yeah, well, one of these days I'll...
40 goes long this time of night.
Yeah, I've been having a think about how I could actually tie in either 40 or 80 metres with these callbacks so that if he wants to, Dave up in Neilborough, north of Bendigo, could join in.
It would definitely work.
Yeah, but probably more likely 80 metres for this nighttime operation than 40. So probably 3670 or some frequency near where he used to operate. I'll just see if that's clear at the moment. 3670. Yep. Dead clear, nothing there. The only signal on 80 is on 3645, and it is...
Itself, it's probably only 3 metres away from the bloody balance, so you can see why that bloody RF's getting in the character then, Joe.
Can't hear his...
Yeah. You just got to play around. I mean, I'm reasonably set up here, although I've got to finish setting up my towers properly, which I'm going to be getting done shortly, but my antennas are only up about 8 metres at the moment. I do have a...
Well, as he's 15 over 9, I don't think he should worry, whoever he is. I better not broadcast his call sign. I think that's technically illegal, but anyway, who's going to complain at this time of night? Anyway, any final comments, Pete?
I don't think so. One thing, I was very relieved to fully extend my spider beam today to verify yet again no damage, and it performed admirably. Mind you, I went to a bit more effort with securing it to a base than I had done in previous days.
I think you learn from your mistakes.
Yes, sometimes. Yes. I used to say to my kids, most people learn by their own mistakes, smart people learn by others, and dumb people never learn.
Yeah.
And I don't want to know where I fit in that scale. But anyway, so with any luck to this evening, Chris, I might have some HF stories to recount. There wasn't much today. Oh, actually, I did make a couple of contacts. I made Parks on the air to... He wasn't far from Hervey Bay, which at 4:30 in the afternoon I thought was pretty cool. You've got to appreciate wintertime for 40 opening early for that distance, because normally you wouldn't get much past the Queensland border. Yeah, I did say before that 20 metres was fairly dull today, which is most unusual. I would have thought there was some solar activity happening, but there wasn't. So anyway, yes, I might, in the afternoon, I might do a bit more operating and have something to report. But otherwise, I hope to hear you get on 40 metres and tell us all about it.
Yeah.
I gather you're pulling the plug, so I will say my 7-3 and thank you for crossbanding. Thank you for being there. Maddie, if you're still listening, good night to you.
Yeah, good night, Maddie.
If you're still listening, Nige, good night to you. This has been VK3ACZ. Thanks, Chris.
Any final words, Nige, before I pull the plug?
No, not really. Anyway, yeah, good night, Peter. Anyway, yeah, good to come up. Anyway, I'll do it again. Okay, yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to say.
Okay, thanks for the info on your rig there too. Interesting that FTM 300D you can crossband on the one rig.
One last word about that, as I have most of the Yaesu radios. My 300 is my satellite radio. Well, I alternate between 300 and the ICOM the 2730. But yeah, Nigel, for what it's worth, I do like my 300, a nice radio. But I also have the 510, 500, 310, 300, 200. Too many well, no, never too many radios, Nigel. You know how it is. Anyway, cheers, guys.
Yeah, okay. See you later. Yeah, I've got a lot of handheld radios.
And the FTM 300D is a Yaesu, is it, Peter?
It's a Yaesu, yes.
Ah, okay, good. I'll look it up. I'd be interested to see, you know, isn't it wonderful? These days you can run complete duplex, full crossband duplex in the one rig.
You need same for working the FM birds, because you need to hear your own signal coming back to know that you've got the Doppler correct. So yeah, it's pretty well essential to have a complete crossband.
Wasn't that the rig you took to our secret location in the Southern Dandenong Ranges that day?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look it up and have a good look at it. Anyway, fellas, all the best. I'll now drop off 2 metres, have a quick listen there to see if anyone wants to come back to me there, and then pull the big plug. And I'll speak to you, hopefully, ARD, XKU, ACZ, in 23 hours. VK3AML now dropping off 2 metres FM and listening on 2 briefly before closing. And there's nobody there.